Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for Unnatural Order Issue 1. This is kinda crazy, man. This is an interesting looking cover, and it's just a very kind of different one. Now, I got this because I was able to get a kind of random one, and I picked this one because I'm like, okay, here's the cover. And this is what it says on the back, which is kind of nice. After the fall of the Britons and the Roman invasion of Hibernia, the captive known only as the Druid is released, sending a darkness across the world, an age of horrors, of fire and entrails, as the innocent burn in the wicker fields. Those who would resist learn of the existence of a man who even the Druid fears. For it is this prisoner, a soldier from a different time, who alone knows the Druid's secret. This is not how the world is supposed to be. And that's pretty much where we go through with this. And the art is really freaking great, and the story's just kind of nutty. So let's kind of get into it as we start in 54 BC. And we see this like Roman dude, of course, kind of explaining that for the glory of Rome, we came to these forsaken northern lands to expand the Republic. Think that they've gone too far. Caesar's campaign against the Gauls brought us to Britannia and then to Hibernia in the north. This is where we first heard of the prisoner. The savages here eat their dead fathers and lay with their mothers and sisters. The gods they worship are monsters. Even as we put them to the sword, they never feared us, but we heard whispers of one they did fear. This prisoner, exiled to an island off their shores. Man, priest, god, he had many names, but one above all others. Druid. As we then see it as frickin' just gnarly looking fucking tree thing. It's like, what the fuck? And then we see that one of the others calls him Valerius. Look there, as we see this dude doing shit. It's like, what the fuck's he doing? And then he's got like a guide trying to speak to him in his tongue. And then the dude's pretty much praying to his goddess to forgive him. The gods do not listen to you, they listen to me. And with blood and bone sacrifice, they brought you here so I could be free. As he's like killing this one dude, referencing the sacrifice that he's doing. That man, he's still alive. I have had enough of this savagery. Face me, you filth. In the name of Caesar. But then we see his one dude explode into fire, and the other dude explode into some kind of tree fucking thing. It's like, what the shit? But then that's all we get at the moment, as we then see years later, and this woman running from these like wolf things, as she then trips, and she starts calling to gods, her gods. I call to Ahura Mazda. I call to Mithra, to Anahita. I seek your guidance, your wisdom, your protection. Hear my words. You offer prayers. Our gods demand sacrifice. As we see that the wolves transform into these like beast men fucking things, and evidently they want blood. And that is gnarly fucking looking, just like, yeah, that's kind of fucked up. You are far from your desert, witch. What did you think to gain stealing into our master's land so blatantly? What did you want? I only sought your attention. As then an arrow rips through his throat. It's like, holy shit. And they scream about unbelievers, as we then see this force assembled with one, I think it's the same Roman dude from before, but maybe not. Let's see. You dogs want blood? Then you'll have it. Rawr! This is not how things are supposed to be. And that is a similar refrain that keeps going on throughout this. As we then see them fucking going nuts. This is not a comic for people that are not okay with blood and shit. I can feel it all around me, coming up from the dirt and the roots. Dark magic older than man. It spreads like poison, infecting faraway lands, including my own. Nature itself has turned against man. It is an affront to the gods. It is unnatural. Adrena! Kill it. I don't have the shot, and I would see it end. Oh, fuck. Witch. Be glad she's on our side, lest those bones be ours, as she utilizes some power to fucking, annihilate the one wolf thing that's coming at her. It's like, damn. And then the one's dude starts asking how she's able to do it, thinking that she serves, Surtur. Let her be, Gunther. She has fired her, yeah, but she fights the Druid same as you or me. There, one yet lives. He will find you. Iodoc will tear the veins from your bodies. Not if we kill him first, yeah. And then we kind of get into our kind of band going and getting a little bit more kind of information on them. Granted, I think this is the witch woman talking. A vision from God came to me, a world I did not understand, transformed by an evil I could not comprehend. I was called to come here to the Deadlands. Here I found heathens, yes, but allies, their own people besieged by dark magic, by the Druid. Octavius. Now granted, that is not the same name that we had going on for the dude in the beginning. So that might be a different person, or it might be another name that he's got. A Roman soldier, we know them well. They're invaders. He was a leader before these dark times. Caden, a thief from Hibernia, whose people were the first to fall to Iodok, and Yagid. Yadgid? I'm probably pronouncing these fucking stupidly. Eadgyd. So, yeah, Yagid. The warrior woman, a Briton. Her home put to the torch by Iodok's forces. Savages, all of them. He could not be... And Gunther. But not as Savage's son. Bloodlust brought Gunther here, nothing more. So we see that this group has come together to fight Iodok the Druid and his insanity that he's doing. Let's see here. Then we kind of see them around their kind of campfire. Let's see. Hibernia, yeah. But then we see Caden pretty much talking about how he kind of joined up, that he had saw the blood of his brothers, his entire village, pretty much in his hand, on Iodok's hands. I saw the look on his face. He was enjoying himself. I swore that I would put an arrow, be the one to put an arrow in his heart. What were your brothers' names? What? Their names, what were they? I can't remember. I can see their faces, but this is what the Druid does. He takes everything from us. Then his dark magics cloud our minds. He wants us to forget what we fight for. And what did he take from you, Roman? Too much. Despite your own invasion into my land, your heart is good. I would lay with you. Come now, to the woods. What? This seems like an ill-timed... I would be happy to oblige you. The skies! Put out the fire now. The worm has 3 heads. I, Alien Trechend hunts tonight. Someone should wake Gunther, as we do see a 3-headed flying worm. I'm like, oh shit! So then they get to Londinium under the Druid's rule, as they're kind of like sneaking between the town. Let's see. And they're trying to get to this informant. Gunther's frickin' really not very good at whispering. And then talking about how Caden preached stealth, but he was obvious in other ways. Also talking about the shameless warrior woman, as she is definitely into Octavius. Our deaths are inevitable, and they know it, yet they cling to life so tightly. Part of me wishes I could be so free, but I do not understand. I do not remember that one. I can feel the fear on him. As we see this weird-looking dude, it's like, what the fuck's going on? And we learn that this is the informant. There's word of a man, someone important, a prisoner. Now granted, this kind of echoes the Druid's bit of him being a prisoner on the island. I don't know if this will be kind of the same kind of effect going on. And of course, we get his name of Barden, that this group is really risking themselves. What do you bring? He could be an ally. He comes from the south, beyond Carthage. They say the Druid fears him. It sounds terrifying, this man all locked up in his cage about to die. But then again, that's all of us now, yeah? What else? He's been taken to the burning fields. I care not of this prisoner. You know what we seek. Have you found it or not, Barden? Aye, they found your thrice damned tree, and they died doing it. And then talking about how they saw it, but like this dude came, and the only man who came back died with his stomach full of roots, his eyes eaten by worms. And then it's similar to the tree in Adrena's dream, the source of the druid's power, the oak tree. There's something I cannot see. It is a memory shrouded in fog. So, of course, Gunther's like, I will tear this tree from the ground and shove it up the druid's ass. So then they decide to split up. One will go to try and get the tree. Octavius will lead the incursion in the sea. Yadgid will retrieve this prisoner. No, this is a waste of time. Shite! As we see other shit starting to go down. And then we get this... Everybody starts getting, like, killed and trying to move. And we see these crazy-looking fucking creatures are ripping the fucking pub apart. And then we see they ask the witch to do something, and she burns them. It's like, shit. Talking about how her gods still favor her. Let's see. And then we see them split up. Gunther and Yagid decide to go off. And then we see Adrena, Octavius, and Caden going for the tree. And then we see that Yagid's sister was the one that kind of died, and that's kind of what's driving her. She says that Gunther would have been a poet because of how he's able to talk about what they will do to the druid. And then they start kind of talking about the sun and worship of that and everything before we start seeing bodies in the water. It's like, oh shit. Well, a skeleton to be more precise. Then we see this fucked up crazy ass looking thing as we see this is the druid's kind of prisoner place. This kind of wicker man burning field. The druid takes prisoners and burns them as sacrifices. To the oak tree, to his gods, to the sun, to anything he can think of. In truth, he just likes to kill. And then we see our two getting into and kind of going through the fields as we see one person being ripped apart asking to be killed, and it's just kind of crazy. Adrena says that something's wrong as they get onto the island. There's a sea of bones, and then we see this weird kind of sign on the beach as they continue forward. And then we see that the tree is dead. And then we see that the prisoner is trying to figure out kind of what's going on. This is not how things are supposed to be. I can feel it all around me, coming up from the dirt and the roots. Dark magic older than man. As they start kind of going through, and we see the people in the burning fields kind of going after him. So they cut it open. And we then see this dude in the kind of wicker man. Who the fuck are you Renaissance fair motherfuckers supposed to be, huh? And they're confused. This dude's looking confused. He looks to be in kind of American soldier battle garb. We see the flag kind of along his chest. And it's just like, what the fuck is going on here? And then we get some other kind of stuff going on. And then we see this weird thing as a tease for the next issue, where it looks like the druid and some kind of techno fucking thing. So, this was definitely a weird one. Art's beautiful, story's crazy and interesting, so I don't know, man. It's a different kind of issue. It's definitely not for people that aren't into crazy, fucked up, weird shit going on. So take that in mind. This is $4.99 from the price on the back. But the art quality is really cool. The characters are definitely kind of interesting. And it definitely sets up of like, what the fuck's kind of going on here? So, those are my opinions on the issue. Well, it's definitely interesting because we at least get into the backstory of what's kind of going on with each character. We get introduced to them and kind of their power moves, their motivations, on what's going on with the druid. The only one that we don't really have much on is Iotic of what he's kind of doing and why he's doing it, and this prisoner that he is supposed to be more fearful of, even though it kind of echoes what happened to him on the island. So we don't know what's kind of going on there, if it's some kind of circle or what's kind of going on. I wasn't expecting to have something like this, but it was definitely an interesting one that I kind of wanted to talk about because the art is just crazy and really sells the kind of unreal and unnatural kind of aspects going on, and does a lot of cool stuff with the action and sells it with the characters for me, in my opinion. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.